Hi everyone, I'm Jim and welcome to the review of Colored Suns, the 5th studio record by the tech dev band Gorguts. Today we're celebrating the 10th anniversary of the record, so I decided to go back and see if it still holds up or not. My story with this band is quite simple. My siblings showed me their music when I was 4 or 5 years old and I've been their fan ever since. I recently reviewed also Obscura, so go check that review out. Colored Suns is an interesting album for many reasons. The first one is the lineup. We have completely new people here, except the founding member Luke, who's on the vocals and the guitars. Then we have new people, Kevin on the guitar, Colin on the bass and John on the drums. We also have guests on the song The Battle of Kamdu because it's a classical piece, it's not a metal track. The production is tight, it's clean but heavy, no loudness or no clipping, just the way I like it. Message is Tibet. This is a concept album about that place. The album is split into two parts. The first 4 songs represent the good old days of Tibet, when people were safe and happy. The middle part of the record, the song The Battle of Kamdu, represents the time China attacked Tibet. And the second part of the record, the last 4 songs, are basically about how the Tibetan people basically became enslaved. And in the final song, Reduced to Silence, the vocalist basically thinks about if the way of life of the Tibetan people was right, because they are non-violent and China attacked them, persecuted them, and it led to their extinction, and he's basically thinking about their peaceful way of life and if it was a good choice or not in this matter. Anyone who has a brain knows that China attacking Tibet was a bad idea. It's basically a war crime, but it's very interesting to hear a music album about this stuff. I am not even sure if any other band or artist made an entire album about this topic, so kudos to Gorguts for that. Structure of the tracks is mostly technical, which means we have lots of segments here, but some of them do repeat, and on the 5th song we have a progressive structure where nothing ever repeats. The music here could be described as a mix of technical and progressive death metal with a classical track in the middle of the record. Also, before we start, let me mention one thing. All of the songs here were written by the vocalist, except the 3rd track, Forgotten Arrows, which is by Colin, the bassist, and the song Absconders, which is by the guitarist Kevin, I think. The album starts with the song Le Tout du Monde, or however you pronounce that shit. Sorry, I cannot speak French. And the first thing you're going to notice here is the drumming. It's stellar throughout the entire record. The drummer is very talented. I love his groove, his precision, his style, the blast beats, the double bass work, it all works. Phenomenal stuff. Then we have the bass. It's audible. It mostly follows the guitars, but we have some parts here and there where bassist is doing something else. It enriches the sound of the album. Then we have the guitar work by the founding member and also Kevin. And I just love it, those very dark and cold dissonant chords, the weird guitar solos, the natural harmonics here and there. It all works and it creates that very desolate atmosphere, but in some parts it's also very beautiful sounding. Finally we have the vocals, and they are mostly screams and growls, and I truly enjoy them, they fit the music. This opening track, which I cannot pronounce, is my favorite song on the record. I love the more mellow and melodic parts here, especially those natural harmonics on the guitars, love that stuff. This is a masterpiece, it fills you with the atmosphere of this album, so if you don't enjoy this song, there's a small chance you will like the next ones. It's a beautiful track, I love every single second of it. 10 out of 10, an ocean of wisdom. Now this one is much more dissonant and angry, it's full of blast beats, the screaming, the growling. I love this song, it's like a force that you cannot stop. I especially enjoyed the more mellow parts, you know, the ambient stuff, but also some of the heavier moments here have beauty in them. I love the guitar work here. It's not as good as on the previous song, but I still dig this one a lot. 9 out of 10. Forgotten Arrows was written by Colin, and it's kinda funny because this is the only song on the record by him, yet it still sounds so Gorgutsy, I would say. Like, I wouldn't know by myself that this was written by a different person. I truly enjoyed the guitar riffs here. This track, yet again, is much more aggressive than the previous ones. I enjoy the vibe of this one, but I must say that it's not as good as the previous songs. But it still has soul in it, 8 out of 10. Colored Suns. Now this one is very interesting because the first part of it is like just okay. The middle part is slightly better, and then we have that guitar solo, which for some reason always stays in my head, and the second part of the song is flawless. I love every single guitar riff there, the vocals, the drumming, the bass, just everything. It's memorable and it's beautiful sounding. 8 out of 10. The Battle of Chamdu or Kamdu is about the Chinese invasion of Tibet back in 1950 or 51, and this one is so beautiful. It's a classical piece. It reminds me of movie soundtracks like fantasy ones or maybe video games like Heroes of Might and Magic. It's very emotional, it's dark, it's depressive, but it has that military vibe to it at the beginning. To me, this is an integral piece of this album and my third favorite song here. 9 out of 10. Enemies of Compassion. I do enjoy its very desolate and depressive atmosphere, because this is the second part of the record where everything goes to shit. You know, like literally, the people are dying. It's very dark, and I just love the assault of noise that you're hearing at the first minute of the song. It's a fun track, I would say, but it's not my favorite here, yet I have nothing to criticize. It fits the record. 8 out of 10. Amber's Voice. Now this is my least favorite song here. I don't know why, probably because some of the guitar riffs just don't stay with me. Like, I forget about them, they weren't that enjoyable. It's still a good song, but just the weakest one here. 7 out of 10. Absconders was written by Kevin, I think, and this is my second least favorite song. It's a little bit too long and it's similar kinda to the previous one. It's much more darker and heavier. It doesn't have a lot of melodies. It has some of them and they're great, but I wish there were more of that stuff here. 7 out of 10. And the final song, Reduced to Silence. This is my second favorite one. I just love the guitar melodies here, the drumming, the atmosphere of this song. The first minute of this song is my favorite, like that's a masterpiece. Those guitar riffs, so memorable, so heavy. I wish that more of that stuff was present here. Also the outro, the last 2 minutes, was just flawless. The middle part of the song was like the weakest part, but it didn't bother me that much. This is a classic track. 9 out of 10. To sum it all up, the consistency is stable and the flow is fitting. Replayability, yeah, it's a great record. I enjoyed it from beginning to the end. It's on the same level as Obscura to me. The highlights here are the French song, Reduced to Silence, An Ocean of Wisdom, Colored Suns, The Battle of Chamdu, and Forgotten Arrows. To truly enjoy this record, you have to focus while you're listening to it, because if you put it in the background, you won't understand anything from it. That's just my opinion. I truly enjoy it. It's a piece of art, especially when it comes to its message, the lyrics. I guess because I've reviewed this record, all of the Chinese corporations will not sponsor me. I can kiss that Genshin Impact sponsorship goodbye. Yeah, that's it. Go listen to this record. It's a great piece of work. Celebrate its anniversary by listening today. It deserves your love and attention. That's all from me. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow me on my Instagram, link in the description. I will see you in my other videos. Bye!